Peggy 18.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is dark. Mom and Dad died in a flood. Everything on earth fell apart. Please save what can be saved. Bring back the world that we love.
In 2001, a real-world exercise tested the emergency response to a bioterror attack on the continental United States. The operation was called Dark Winter. Within just a few days, the simulation spiraled out of control. The operation predicted a rapid breakdown in essential institutions, civil disorder, and massive civilian casualties. Dark Winter has revealed how vulnerable we've become. Our lifestyle, our security, our safety, depends on a delicate and unstable economy. We've created a system so complicated that we no longer understand how to control it. Oil, power, shipping, transport. We live in a complex world. And the more complex it gets, the more fragile it becomes. The system is built on a global supply chain that gets things where they're needed, just in time. We've created a house of cards. Remove just one, and everything falls apart. And what's fueling this system?
Money. Americans can spend $90 billion in a single day of shopping. Last year, 200 million people swarmed their local stores on November 23rd. We call that day Black Friday. Did you know that a flu virus can survive on the surface of a banknote for up to 17 days? One day there will be a pandemic. It could begin during the crush of Black Friday sales. A pathogen will jump from tainted banknotes to human skin, onto food, toys, children, and loved ones. By the time patient zero feels the first sore throat, millions of people will already be infected. From this point, the breakdown will happen fast.
Day 1, hospitals will reach capacity. Panic will strike. Day 2, quarantine zones will be established. Resources will be rationed. Transport will go into lockdown. Day 3, international trade will stop. The oil will dry up. The stock market will collapse. Day 4, the power will fail. The shelves will be empty. The taps will run dry. And once hunger and despair take hold, people will do anything for survival. By day 5, everyone will be a potential threat.
In 2007, a new presidential directive was signed quietly into law. This maps out the government's response to a crisis, a plan to cope with a real dark winter. It is known as Directive 51. There are rumors of shadow agencies, sleeper cells, covert agents, but nothing can be confirmed.
Our complex world is primed for breakdown.
And once the chaos strikes,
there won't be resources to save us all.
The only question left is, what will it take to save what remains?
We were always told it might come to this. That one day, everything we ever knew could end.
It was a weaponized virus. One by one, we began to fall. people started tearing each other apart until society as we knew it collapsed.
There's an ordinary world.
It was a signal that the normal lives we led
We're gone.
We are activated as a last resort. We are the division.
We don't know how many of us there are.
or what it will take to save what remains.
But there is one thing we do know.
There cannot be any hope for tomorrow if we don't fight for today.
Silent night, holy night, all is
It's hard to watch something you love destroy itself, to see it fall apart. Disaster always feels so distant, detached. Someone else's struggle in some faraway place. It's not until it's in our city, at our doors, that we realize how fragile we are. All of us. All of this.
No, baby, Steven, Mommy, I'm here. Mommy's right here. Angie, no.
Please.
I love you, Marcus.
Sarah.
And when it hit, when it came down hard.
Give me my family back.
And we fell. We buried ourselves in anger, fear, in the instinct to survive.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm just not strong enough.
Where's the drive sign? Please no more.
And the real truth is, no one watched. No one saw, wanted to see.
Where you going?
Tragedy is invisible. People turn away from it and run from it if they can. And it's hard knowing that you belong here, that your purpose lies amongst all this pain. But someone's gotta be there to pick it up, to push back, put the first piece back together, put us all back together.
When you first joined the division, what were you expecting? I'm sure they told you about the sacrifices you'd make. Things you might have to do one day. But none of us could have ever predicted this. Now, if there's any chance of putting the pieces of our city back together, then this is all up to you. When we first arrived, this place was destroyed. But over time, we can make it our home. From here, we launch countless missions across the city in search of others. Doctors, former cops, engineers, people who can help us rebuild the world. Out there, you'll need all your training and equipment. With every battle won, you'll become stronger.
Come on! Come at me!
With every challenge met, you will gain power. But spend enough time on your own, and you'll understand the truth. You will die alone if we don't stand together. Other agents have set up safe houses throughout the city. You'll need to team up with them and work together. We have to rely on each other's strengths to save what remains and give New York a fighting chance at something we thought was lost. Hope. We need to work together and combine our skills. We each have a role to play in this fight. You are here for a reason. Make no mistake, we are taking this city back. And on your journey, you will find a place beyond those walls. A dark zone where greed and fear corrupts, and no one can be trusted. This fight is only the beginning.